Welcome back in my class. This is Hari again, and we are in week number 10, as I said in my previous video lecture for week 10. And the focus of week 10 is on machine learning, and this is part number 2. In part number 1, I explained about aim and objectives. So all these things I already explained in my previous video lecture, that is in part number 1, and in this part, that is in part number 2 video lecture on machine learning, I am going to cover these bullet points. So I will be covering machine learning, then I will explain supervised and unsupervised machine learning techniques. So the next slide is dedicated for discussion on machine learning. So here you can see the first bullet point is on defining what is machine learning means. So machine learning, you can see this is a keyword, and I have used the term ML to represent the machine learning. It is a study of computer algorithms. We are going to learn computer algorithms, and why you're going to learn computer algorithm, because you want to use the algorithm to improve automatically based on the experience. So what you are going to do, you are going to use a machine. This is your machine. You are here and you have lots of data. You have data, and what you want to know, you want to understand the behavior of this data. So what you are doing, you are using this data, you have developed some machine learning algorithm or model, and using this machine learning algorithm or model, you want to automatically understand the behavior of the data. So this behavior, maybe you want to identify the pattern of the data, maybe you want to classify your data, you want to create cluster of the data. So how you will achieve all these three things in order to get the pattern or classified data or cluster data? We are going to apply machine learning algorithms, and this machine learning algorithm will automatically analyze your data. So this is what machine learning means. It is very close to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a broad topic, broad area, and machine learning belongs to artificial intelligence. That is the reason it is subset of artificial intelligence. Now, as I said in my example, if you want to understand the data, you are the user, you are here, you have massive data, and you want to understand the pattern or the behavior of the data. So what you are doing, you are creating a machine learning model or algorithm, and for this machine learning model or algorithm, this data is considered as input. So you are not going to use all the data because you have huge data set. What you will do, you will take sample of data from the huge data set, and then you will apply the data as an input to this machine learning model or machine learning algorithm, and the output you want is the behavior of the data, and it behavior can be the pattern, it can be classification of the data, or it can be clustering of the data. So this is what you can do. So the next point is based on this example. So the sample of the data you are using for machine learning algorithm to develop a model, you are using a sample of data from the large data set, and that sample of the data is known as or called as training data, because you are using this data to train your model, or machine learning algorithm. This is the user. He has data set, want to understand the behavior of the data using this data as an input. So rather than taking the whole data, you are collecting some samples, and then you are using these samples to train your model or to train your algorithm. And this sample is nothing but referred as training data, because it is used to train the model. So models which you are creating are used for prediction or decision making. So based on the pattern, you can predict what will happen in the near future, or you can make some decision without being explicitly programmed to do. So you have the model, and based on the model you can predict or you can make decision for future. So this is the beauty of machine learning models or machine learning algorithms. And to train the model or to train the machine learning algorithm, you are using sample of data, and this sample of data is referred as training data. The next bullet point is for the application area of machine learning methods, and I have listed some of the application area. That is the reason I have mentioned very few, because machine learning algorithms have wide range of applications. So here you can see email filtering. For email filtering we can use machine learning models. So what will happen? User is here, user are getting emails, and generally if you have used email account, then you will see there are several boxes you can use in your email. So it may be inbox, spam, trash, or any other. So which email should go in inbox, which email should go in spam, how you will classify all these things. So in order to filter this type of information, you can use machine learning methods. You can use machine learning methods for web analytics. Right from the beginning of this model, data driven design, you are using different techniques to analyze your web data. You can use machine learning technique for natural language processing. The best example is question answering system, and it has range of application in computer vision. So these four are the applications I have enlisted under this bullet point, that is application area of machine learning methods. There are so many applications you can find these days where researchers or practitioners, they use machine learning methods or algorithm or model to analyze the behavior of the data. Now in the next slide, I have explained different types of machine learning methods. So all in all, I will explain two different types of machine learning methods. The first, the machine learning method is known as supervised machine learning methods, while the second machine learning method is unsupervised machine learning methods. Now how you will understand the difference between supervised and unsupervised machine learning methods? If you are using supervised machine learning techniques, or where you should use supervised machine learning technique, if you have data along with labels, then you should use supervised. If you are having only the data but no label, then you can use unsupervised machine learning techniques. Same thing is given here. So if unsupervised, you will be using, you have training data with labels. And what does machine learning, so supervised machine learning technique will do? It will learn how to map data to label. So if D1 is your data and it will be mapped at level L1, so how this is mapped, this type of information you can get by applying supervised machine learning techniques. On the other hand, unsupervised machine learning will be applied on the data and the data, but no label. Data will not be labeled data. And what does unsupervised machine learning method will do? It will learn both label and how to map them with the data. So here you are using the training data and label, and you are mapping data to label. So data and label is mapped. Here you are using just the data, and you are using this data with unsupervised machine learning methods. And what you are doing, you are learning both the labels and how to map. So you want to understand the label and mapping mechanism with the data. Both you are performing in case of unsupervised machine learning techniques. Now in the next slide, the next part of my video lecture, I will be covering clustering and clustering methods. So that's all from my side in part 2 of week 10 video lecture. Thank you very much.